quickly run through the programme. Each of the candidates are going to do about a 7-minute speech. Then we're going to have a debate, which anyone can ask a question for. And then after the debate, we're going to hold a round of votes, electronic voting. Once the electronic voting is done and we know the results, we're going to have closing speeches from all of the candidates, starting with the loser and ending with the victor. Just a quick disclaimer though, the views expressed by those representing the parties today are not their own views. They're the views of the candidates that they're representing, so don't stone them when they leave or anything. So if you can all stand for the Russian national anthem, which is...
Is it me or is this on one? I don't.
We're going to kick off now with the first of our parliamentary debate candidates. This is candidate Zhirinovsky from the Liberal Democratic Party of Russia. Do you want to take it?
Dear voters, I address you in a historically significant moment. The Liberal Democratic Party of Russia is prepared to experience the same success that it did in the first assembly back in 1993. When we took 23% of the votes, nobody expected that. It shocked everybody, especially those in power. Such was the will of the Russian people. From the people from the bottom prevailed over the plans at the top. And this same formula, the shepherds and herd formula, is something that's dominated more than 1,000 years of Russian history. This formula represents both the source of the problems and our rare breakthroughs. It is the foundation of the Russian people, of Russian existence. But today, the absolutely logical question arises, hasn't this foundation hung on the neck of the Russian people long enough? 100 years ago, the Romanovs sat on the throne, and after that, the dynasty of the Communist Party of the Soviet Union took its place. Has not this foundation accompanied our life for too long? The main reason for our troubles and misfortunes is that we have never had a true Russian national power. This is the party of Russian patriots. This is the party of Russian Democrats, the party encompassing all social strata and citizens of Russia. Created by the will of the non-partisans who are tired of the Communist Party and who don't want to support the new bankrupt democratic parties. The Kremlin has already formulated 11 parties: the Democratic Party of Russia, Democratic Choice, Peace and Unity, Russian National Socialist Party, Our Home is Russia, Fatherland, All Russia, People's Party, United Russia, Fair Russia, Russian Pensioners Party and Rodina. Russia needs a party that is independent and ready to fight for what the people need. We must unite under one single language and be proud of it. We must show the West that we are strong and not a nation to be trampled on. In this time of uncertainty for the world economy, we must take appropriate measures to ensure that Russia has the economic power to carry us forward into a new golden age. To command our futures, we must have total control over the present. With the current financial insecurity in the wake of the global crisis, we must not be relying on foreign sources to sustain our economy. The Russian people demand economic sovereignty. We must be able to forge our own destiny, not the destiny of some Western corporation that just thinks they can decide what's best for us. We can accomplish this through economic protectionism in order to preserve that which we already have. We must also hand over control of key industries to the state, such as tobacco, natural resources and alcohol. That way we can build a secure economic future for them. However, we recognise that this cannot be achieved by Russia alone. Although we need economic sovereignty, we must move for a reincorporation of at least some former Soviet republics into a new union, but a democratic one, retaining an elected president and appointing governors for these new republics. If we combine the potential economic might of Russia with the strength of the former brother nations, surely the path will be open for a new golden age for the Russian people. We must also offer full state support to scientific endeavour. If we are to lead the world into a new age, we must have the technology to support our conviction. With regulated and financial support research, we can advance our technology leaps and bounds and unlock the true potential of the motherland. In order to fully realise our potential, serious changes need to be made. The Russian political system, as it stands, is a weak, bloated and corrupt machine, doing more damage to the prospects of our glorious nation than good. Corruption on all levels is a hideous boil on the Russian economy. But we in the LDPR know how to wield the lance. We will root out and destroy corruption where it presents itself. For it is the only way we can bring Russia out of the dark ages. We can no longer allow ourselves the luxury of mercy to those who suck the life from our society. Parasites who would sacrifice the good of the motherland for their own personal gains must be crushed. For this reason, we must reintroduce the death penalty. Those who would kill their fellow Russians, who would rape them, who would steal the fruits of the labour of our people, must see that the Russian nation will not stand for it. Those who attack our nation must feel the wrath of the greatest people on this earth. We have always defended our Medina to the last drop of our blood. Now we must do it again, not from Teutonic invaders or from perfidious imperialists, but from the wave of crime that sweeps our lands. The only way to stand fast against this is to turn the full indignation of our new, strengthened legislative system against those who perpetrate it. They must know that those who attack our people will be destroyed. Particularly, the terrorist enemy must be dealt with in this way, with no mercy. Those who commit or would seek to commit acts of terrorism against Russia and her people must be eradicated. As President Putin has in the past made clear, Russia will not allow criminal terrorists to hurt her people. For this reason, we believe the best way to confront the dangers to our society and our nation is to reintroduce capital punishment. The issue of terrorism is a huge one for Russia and the world, and it is inextricably linked to the question of religion. The Liberal Democratic Party of Russia believes that Russia should have one state religion and should not have to deal with the murderous tendencies that have come into our country with foreign religious traditions that are alien to the natural people of Russia. Our Christian roots are too easily forgotten as we coddle the Islamists, even as they plot to destroy us. Therefore, we would immediately outlaw all religious activity that is non-tradition in Russia and her indigenous people. Jews, Muslims and others must learn to respect the Russian way of life. Not only will this serve to strengthen our state and reinvigorate our people, but it will allow us to confront the threat of religious extremism and terrorism head-on. Measures such as this and the reintroduction of the death penalty will help Russia to fight her internal enemies. While we contend with the threats to our people, we must ensure that the state does all it can to see that Russia and Russians enjoy the highest level of quality of life. To this end, we would propose that the government should make it a priority to end unemployment that fuels this crime circle, crime in our communities. All Russians have the right to work in Russia, to be able to provide for their families. Equally, it is a travesty that any people should be without homes.
Sorry, I'm afraid your allocated time is up. So I'd like to invite our second participant to speak. And